just wanted to get on here just impromptu while I have a few minutes. Wanted to talk quickly about some things that happened. I might do more in depth if I decide to go live after SmackDown. I'm still trying to decide. And if I do, you'll see my notification on TikTok that I'll be going live. But there's a couple of things I wanted to talk about. Let's go into The Rock's comments about Rhea saying she carried the company. Like, dude, what the fuck? You're saying to Rhea and Rhea alone that she carried the company. I hadn't even thought about it when I was made with Nia, Tiffany, Bailey, Jade, Bianca, Naomi, any of these girls, and then any of the women in NXT was carrying the company. But you're even saying that not even like Cody, CM Punk, Kevin Owens, Seth Rollins, any of the other guys aren't carrying the team. And I'm like, what do you mean? Thank you for carrying the WWE. Like, really? That just insults me as a fan because Rhea wasn't doing all this shit where she was going overseas, doing tours, doing the event, um, wrestling on Raw, SmackDown, PLEs. She wasn't doing all that. She would pop up, say something, and then vanish for a couple of weeks. She's out injured, pop back up, short changes, EOs, number one contendership. That's not someone carrying the company. I'm sorry. She was all over the place in 2023, but even then, she wasn't carrying the company. That was Cody. Cody put WWE on his back when they didn't give him the title the first time and was doing all the PLEs, doing all the meet and greets, meeting with fans. That was Cody carrying the company. And then this past year, it was a whole bunch of women that picked up the slack. It was Liv, it was Nia. Like Liv and Nia pretty much made chicken shit out of chicken salad out of chicken shit for their little feud for Saudi Arabia. It's Liv and Dom that was pulled their weight for their whole feud, the whole storyline going into SummerSlam. And you want to say that Rhea carried the company. Like, I'm just insulted on the wrestler's behalf. Like, Rock, you don't even show up half the time. And you want to say a singular person carried the company. That's something that should have been said in private. And I think just putting that out there to themselves, that's something that should have been said in private. And I think just putting that out there to WWE themselves kind of really show their asses on that because they've been really showing their bias, at least on social with Rhea, like they'll post Rhea and then it's like, okay, forget it. You got her all over TikTok, Instagram, the X, YouTube. We get it, but you're still not bringing the numbers, which will segue me into you see how Liv and Dom with 1 minute of interaction on Monday brought in over 1 million views. This is Friday. They hit 1 million views like on Tuesday. I want to say they are only second to Penta and his debut. So Liv and Dom bring 1 million, and then Rhea brought in around 700 or something like that, which isn't nothing to sneeze at, but it goes to show you where people's interest is. Is anybody really talking about Rhea right now? Everybody now is talking about what Liv and Dom are doing. Are they breaking up? Is this a ruse? What will happen on Monday? We will see like a reverse of the summer of Liv and Dom, like where it's going to be Dom being aggressive for Liv, and then she's going to have to be trying not to fold. Will we be getting that? So we a lot more interest in talking about Liv and Dom after 1 minute interaction and Rhea and her promo where she wasn't even the primary player. Which goes to show you if Rhea isn't involved with people that bring in more interest in her, she's just gonna fall flat. Nia and Bailey were the more interesting parts of that promo on Raw with Rhea than anything else. And they weren't even on this, and they're not even on the same brand. So Pillow says, rumor says that Dom showed up and started to interact with Tiff. Why would that be a rumor? Are they gonna try and play him trying to hook up with Tiff? I have to look into that more. Because if it was seriously about him going where the gold is, he would have been trying to show up with Rhea this past Monday. Instead of trying to like apologize, I guess. But even then, people brought up an interesting observation about this. They just said it was Dom's antics. Um, this past Monday, it wasn't like couldn't even show like he actually did. Like it would be something to show him actually trying to go for the hug, and then but why are you downplaying this just Dom antics? What is Dom's antics? Like if it was the hug, show the hug. Like vague can you be to downplay the issues between Dom and Liv to just Dom's antics? I'm really thinking now that it was just something to carry Dom and Liv over into the next storyline, which I believe is Finn. Because as of right now, they don't have anything else. It's just going to be it was just Finn wrapping up his stuff with Damien, which was bullshit, and they don't have anything else. What I'm kind of hoping now, and like I said, I'm gonna go with probably if I go live this after SmackDown, I'll probably go into this a little bit more. This is just more off the cuff. I'm really hoping that coming up Monday, uh, I have to figure out how I'm going to do this live. I might have to do live from YouTube or off of the X some kind of way. So please stay subscribed to me on the X, so I can talk about it. Thinking for Monday Night Raw, I'm hoping that they just go ahead and let Finn be injured, like let him not show up. Then we can just deal with what Judgment Day without Finn happens, like who takes over, who's calling the shots, what happens. Because they can really easily just slot in, like JD was talking about going for the tag team titles again with Finn. You can easily slot in Carlito for that. Just slot in Carlito to play. War Raiders thinks is a real easy thing, for that kind of match. And then Dom ends up taking the leadership role and helping JD and Carlito win the tag titles. Because the War Raiders aren't really doing shit with the tag titles. This is my problem with the War Raiders winning the tag titles from them. They got looped in with Damien, and then they didn't do anything with the tags. At least on SmackDown, we have a little bit of a storyline between all the tag teams on SmackDown. Pretty Deadly, Los Gatos, DIY, the Motor City. At least there's a storyline there. But on Raw, it's just been War Raiders, and they haven't even interacted with the other tag teams on Raw. They haven't interacted with Alpha Academy, Creed Brothers, LWO. So I would just switch the titles. I would switch the titles back to Judgment Day and just use it as a part of the storyline again. And then just this time, you just have JD and Carlito defending the titles more. Because the problem with Judgment Day having the titles in the first place is just they weren't booked as tag team titles like they're doing with the War Raiders now. And I'm surprised that nobody's been bitching about War Raiders not defending like they did with Judgment Day. Like y'all were all bitchy about Judgment Day not defending, but I haven't heard jack shit about the War Raiders. So that's what I would do. I would have Finn be out. He's out on injury. And then Dom steps up, gets Carlito into the tag team title match with the War Raiders with JD, helps JD and Carlito win the tag title back, and then we're out to the race because Dom stepped into that leadership role. And I think a key part on that is that Dom won't be claiming to be the leader. He'll just step up and do it. And again, I think that will establish Dom's credibility a little bit more because it really needs to be rebuilt after what he, Liv, Raquel, all the Judgment Day had to deal with the Terror Twins, with Rhea and Damien. Hopefully, Damien's ass is way far away from that match. He don't need to be rubbed to help the War Raiders. Let him not be out there like he's done that before. It is finished. But those are those two thoughts. Like I said, I might go live down, put it up. If I do, it'll be around like 10:30 CST. And then I'll talk about this a little bit more in depth. Then I'll talk about Rhea. I hate talking about Rhea, but you kind of have to. Everything is so out there with Rhea that you're trying to avoid talking about her and talking about other stuff. But you have to talk about it. So I'll probably talk about it a little bit more. And then I kind of really want to go into what I think will happen with Liv and Dom on Monday because there's a lot of different ways we could go. with Liv and Dom on Monday, and it does not include just a slow burn breakup because I don't think they're doing that. You can just with them.